guys, welcome to Klover. Our whole theme today is going to be a boho bride, so we're just going to do lots of neutrals, really simple, and this is going to work for those of you that are makeup artists that do brides all the time, or if you're going to do your own makeup for your wedding. But we are going to start by priming her skin. We already moisturized, and today we're just going to use Benefit's 15-hour primer. I'm just going to apply this directly to her skin like a glue stick. Next up is going to be concealer. We're going to use the MAC Pro Longwear concealer, and I'm using NW20 on her today. We're just going to make a little check mark underneath her eyes here, straight from the side of her eye to the corner of her nose, from the corner of her nose out to her hairline. Then we're going to come in and highlight also with the concealer. I'm going to use the Stockholm face, and this is the Picture Perfect foundation. It works really, really great with any flash photography because that light won't bounce off of it like any dewy foundation would. So I'm just going to lay that a little bit over the highlight that I did underneath her eyes, right between her brows, her nose, and her chin. So I'm not going to blend any of that, and I'm just going to leave it in its place, so when we blend our liquid foundation over the top of it, it's just going to kind of smooth that all out, but the areas that you want to pop will stay that way rather than blending it all through and not having any of those highlights anymore. Then for foundation, I'm just going to use MAC's Face and Body. This is in the N1A82. I really like this because it's about 75% water, which on a complexion like Megan's, she has a really nice even complexion, pretty small pores, so putting something thicker would actually make her perfect skin look flawed. So we're going to use just a water-based foundation that's kind of going to smooth all of this out. To apply the foundation, I'm going to use a e.l.f. Small stippling brush, and I'm just going to apply in small oscillating motions. Okay, so I just ran over her lips, and then I'm just going to run over her eyelids. You can also go in and use a eyeshadow base, but something this thin of a foundation that's actually not going to cause crazy problems. Next up, we're going to set with a powder. This is one of my favorite powders. It's by Essence. It's really similar to MAC Prep and Prime, the loose white powder, but this is pressed. It's called All About Matte. And all I'm going to do is just kind of take, I have a Sephora professional powder brush, and I'm just going to kind of barely pound into it so you get the powder just on the top of the brush, and just kind of fluff all over. We are going to go into Hoola, and we're just going to come into this with our same powder brush. I don't really get too crazy with trying to switch out my brushes. Come in with the same brush, and I'm actually going to take it over the top of her ear and to the corner of her mouth. What helps is to have your model push their lips to one side, just like that, and it'll create that natural hollow in her cheekbone. So I'm just going to follow that line. Cool. So you guys should be able to see the shadows in her cheekbones there. Then I'm going to use MAC's Melba Blush, and I'm just going to kind of tuck it right into that hollow there. Then we go on to brows, which is one of my favorite things. She has great brows and a lot of great color in her brow. I'm just going to intensify them a little bit to give them some structure. For that, I'm going to use Brow Zings in Dark by Benefit. e.l.f. also has an identical product if you're looking for a cheaper option, and those are about $3 as well. So I just go back and forth in the wax and then back and forth in the powder, and apply directly in the pattern of the hair growth. And you're just going to cruise through. Make sure the brows look nice and groomed. Once again, not too intense because it's bridal. Okay, so we're gonna do a variance of neutrals on her eye. So I'm gonna start with Orb all over her lid. I'm covering the base of the lash all the way up to the brow bone. Then we're gonna come into Bamboo. And Bamboo is just a little bit warmer than Orb, and I'm just gonna kind of shove that right onto the brow bone to create a little bit more of a dimension. And I'm using a contour brush for this, something that's just really nice, round, and fluffy. Then we're going to use a little bit of Faint, which is a kind of soft brown color, almost more in like the espresso. A little bit of purple to it. And I'm going to take that right on her brow bone. It's like a rainbow ending at a pot of gold, so it's going to be really nice and full on the outside and then taper in and fade out. So you don't have this big chunky line across the lid. And then we're going to use a little bit of Folie, which is a really pretty burgundy color. And I'm going to use that as her accent. So right underneath the base of that contour, and then right along the lash, and then we're just going to blend it in. And we're going to use a little bit of Woodwinked, which is a very antiqued color, like a bronzy gold, very fall. And then we're just going to kind of buff that right into that last accent shade. And I more just press the shadow onto the lid than brush it, because when you brush stroke back and forth, you have a tendency to lose a lot of the product, and then you get pretty severe fallout on the underneath of the eye, which we're getting a little bit of it, but that we can control. Ooh. Last step, we're going to come back to White Frost, and we're just going to kind of set it right in her tear duct area, that little gap where our original orb base was. So none of that orb or bamboo is really going to show through, but you kind of need to create a palette beneath to be able to build on top of, rather than just build directly on your lid. When you build directly on your lid, you'll lose it, and by about 2 o'clock you'll be like, man, why did I spend so much time? Give yourself a good structure to build upon. Okay, then we're going to come back into the Folie, and I'm just going to take it right underneath her bottom lashes. Then we're going to move on to liner. I'm going to use MAC Engraved. I prefer, truthfully, Rimmel's Waterproof. It's a turn up. Lost it at my last wedding. I don't know where it is. So I'm going to use what I have, MAC Engraved, and it's just a really nice, smooth, buttery liner. Look down for me. So we're just going to lift her lash and kind of snug right between her eyelashes. No, Megan doesn't have mascara on right now. She has lash extensions. Then we're going to come to the top of the lash. Down. And I'm just going to buff on the corner. We're going to put false lashes on her, so I'm not going to work super hard on this eyeliner, and we're not going to put a ton of eyeliner on the top of her eye. Then we're going to use MAC Loaded Up Pearlglide pencil. And we're just going to take it right underneath her bottom lashes where we put that Folie at. And I'm just going to more smudge than be super intentional with this. Trying to make like a smoldery look. Down. slap some false lashes on her really quick. So we just threw on some eyelashes, which what did I do with the package? Oh, I just get these on Amazon, and they're like 15 for $1. Super fun. All my clients really love them. Do that, because Ardell charges about $5 per set of lashes, right? Cool. So we just threw those on, and then I threw the same engraved black eyeliner over the top of it, and I just kind of buffed her 2 sets of lashes together. I'm not using mascara because she has extensions. I don't want to run her extensions. Moving on to her lip, we just moisturize with a little chapstick, nothing too crazy. And then I am going to go ahead and use this Walnut Palladio lip liner. You can get these at Ulta. I love Palladio, they have really great colors. I'm just going to line her lips with it. I'm not filling in her whole bottom lip because I'm going to come in with another lip liner. We're going to use Essence lip liner in the Nude. I'm going to fill in her whole bottom lip with that. We're going to use MAC's Lipglass in Love Nectar. I don't even know if they carry this anymore. I would maybe use Please Me, something like that. And I'm just going to kind of pat it all over the lip. Go ahead and press for me. Perfect. And we're all done. Thanks for watching, and subscribe below. We'll see you next time.